thing. But when you
Mm-hmm.
want to
Mm-hmm.
describe that particular scene, yeah, for describing that lady, you have something. No, no, you're putting in a detailed way. It's like what do you call? Though your script is very
Right.
not very linear and chronological. You're not. There is no flashback there. You're just talking to the point. It goes on a straight process. Am I correct?
Right. 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 So,
Okay, that was a fantastic
uh,
point.
yeah. So I live in Indiana, here in the United States, um, and you go to small towns, and people of color isn't really too accepted.
Mm.
Um, and I put that scene in there just because of that, because there's a town here. I don't want to mention the town's name because they have actually gotten better over the course of the years. They have progressed. But when I was growing up and going through that town to go to the university we have here, you had to go through that town. And like I said, people of color really wasn't welcome, So I just went back to my experience, on something like that. I just feel that a lot of people will probably relate to something like that. Um, when I created that particular scene, I went back to like this plotting tool. This is called not a team scene plotting tool, but a character development tool. And I had this like two sheets on just how this character should be. But yeah, like I said, I reflected on my past when I went through going through that town, and then how would this character be? And even though it's small and minute, a little small scene, I think myself, I really believe that it's very impactful on how, unfortunately, how people could treat people, and I just thought it was a really fun scene to do to write.
It was very characters. You were revealing the characters very strategically. Very strategically. Each and everything, it's a tiny detail was there. Okay, because
Right,
there is always a difference between a screenplay and a script writing.
right,
Okay.
right.
Yeah, but I found it as a complete one. A complete one. You know what you're doing. You know what you're writing,
Yes.
and
Thank you.
it's
I appreciate it.
easy when we go for a visual, isn't it? Showing is more powerful than writing. And and
Right.
and do you have the plans of doing this directing this movie or?
Yeah, I really want to. I've talked to a producer here. He's a really good friend of mine. Excuse me, and he works out there in LA. And he really believes he's read over. He's actually been coaching me through writing this as a feature, and he really believes I've got it to the point where we could actually get investors. So my number one goal was to film this like myself. And then once he started reading it and helping me during the process of getting it to where it is today, he's like, "Yeah, we could definitely get some investors and try to get this onto the screen." So I'm very, very excited about doing that. Even if we can't get major investors to doing it, I still consider doing it myself.
Because it's always a survival kind of script. It's a script demands only on survival. It's on
Right.
high tense script. Uh, okay, it was really good. I when I went through the entire the script, and I remember there was a saying which you have put it in on the first page, saying that
Hmm.
based on the true events.
Right, right, right. So there's um,
Put in.
so there's several different things that I got ideas from. I mean, you go all the way back to the film Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So that film was based on like the story of Eddie Gein. So I took ideas from that, then other ideas from other stories that I did research on. Like, wow, this really happened to somebody or some people, and so I just inspired from different story ideas like that, and also from other films. When you're a filmmaker or a writer, you get inspired by other filmmakers and writers who has been successful. And so Friday the 13th is my favorite horror franchise. So I got a little bit of that in there too, so that's a little bit of inspiration as well. So yeah, the true events, it's you hear these stories and I'm reading in magazines and newspaper clippings. It's like, wow, I need to put that in there. I need to fix it in there some type of way. So yeah, that's why it's based on true events because some of the things in there actually did happen.
I thought when it is too intense, the flow was too intense. I thought I was connecting the dots, and I thought based on true events, might be Alan is one of the character in the film. He would have gone through one of the characters, but of course it is not Jed. Jed.
No. Jed Kruder, no, he's just a fictional character I came up with. But some of the other stuff did happen to, unfortunately, did happen to some people. But I just took a little mixture of stuff. But Jed Kruder himself, no, he doesn't. He's not a real person.
There is no real character. It's a fiction character.
No. Exactly. Right.
That's it. It's a wonderful, what do you call, script, and we all really liked it. And I
Thank
saw the
you.
jury comments also. They were quite impressed on the script. And when it's going to be visually made, it makes a lot of difference. It makes a lot of difference. But
Yeah.
your writing is a big foundation for that. Foundation for that. Okay, fine.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The foundation, like I said, is based on some true things, but the Jed, no. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. So, Alan, what is it? Tell me basically about yourself. Other than this, what do you do?
So I also run a podcast. It's called Indie Flicks Podcast, the Indie Flicks Podcast. And what we do on the podcast is basically we support and promote independent films from around the world.
Okay.
We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor app, and pretty much your major uh, podcast outlets. So it's myself and my co-host Kelly Miller. She's also an actress, and she's trying to get into the film world as well as far as directing. But she is an actress, and she and I, like I said, we discuss and promote independent films from around the world. We're actually getting really popular now. We're all over the country. We got listeners from all over, which is really crazy because I never thought that it would be as big as it is. So I also I wrote a book. It's called Make Believe, which is also on Amazon.
Oh, very good.
Then I have a book coming out later this year. Um, I'm still trying to decide if I want to keep the title. So I don't want to say the title just in case I decide to change it. But yeah, hopefully I can get it out later this year. It's actually with my editor now, and her and I have been going back and forth with the title. So that's why I don't want to mention the title just yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, like I said, uh, also doing a lot of side jobs as far as doing weddings and real estate videos and things like that.
Oh, okay, okay. But you've got a great skill of writing, yeah? Yeah.
I'm trying to get more into screenwriting. Yeah, and doing them is basically for my own films. If somebody hired me to write their film, I'm definitely down with doing that or helping them critique it and edit it and go through it like that. So I really believe that I'm really good at writing horror, or I really understand horror. So horror thrillers and things like that. So I really understand those. So I really like to help people
So
develop their screenplay.
your basic inclination is towards horror and thriller. You love
Yeah,
horror
yeah,
and thrillers. Because
yeah, yeah.
when I started reading the script initially, the first two scenes were totally different. It was giving a different outlook. It started in the car. I thought, okay, fine.
Yeah,
Suddenly,
yeah.
the entire scene scenario changes. The man went into
Oh
the
yeah,
woods with
the best scenes they always start in the car, right? Best scenes always start in the car. You already know what's gonna happen when they get in the car.
that too, your narration was again, it was in depth in what they were doing. You had the same kind of narration there also. I thought, okay,
Right.
fine.
But I'm just glad you guys liked it, man. I was very nervous sending it out to you guys, and
Okay.
I was like, what the heck, it never hurts. So I'm really appreciating that you guys like
So as I said told you earlier, the jury have narrowed down and they finalized in the final nomination list of the winners. Okay. Once again, I really congratulate you for coming up to this stage. And I'm
Thank
really
you.
happy because even I went through the script. I really loved your script. Loved your script. So my people, my office, from my organization, they will communicate with you officially
Yeah,
uh, through email on the further steps and processes. Okay. I
nice.
generally take care of the festival division. I handle the festival division and the director of the division.
Okay,
So I'll give my feedback also on the conversation, lovely conversation I had with you. Okay, it was so
awesome.
lovely talking to you, and really thank you for keeping up the timing and other thing. That's more important for a professional guy. Okay,
Yeah,
I look forward a lot of tips from you.
thank
Okay,
you. Yes, I'm definitely
apart
going to be
from
sipping more.
definitely look for, and one day I'm going to see you as a director also
Yes, I
in the
appreciate
same
that.
script
Thank
on the same script on this.
on the screen. Yes,
And you're going to
definitely.
inform me also. You're going to text me also. You're going to email me also. This is my film, and we have
Oh
completed.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
all the best for this. All the best for this. All the best for this. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks for calling me. Thanks for calling me.
Thank you.
Lovely talking to you.
I
Okay.
appreciate it. And thank you for
My
talking
people
with
will
me.
get in touch with you for the further process. Okay.
Awesome. I appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank you.
considering my
Thank you.
film.
Wish you the same. Wish you the same. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye.